There are a ton of similarities between the brand new Super Archer inside of Clash of Clans and the Magic Archer inside of Clash Royale, and for very good reason. Both of their stories are somewhat connected in a sense, and inside of today's video I want to tell you guys the Magic Archer's origin story as well as the Super Archers and how the Clash of Clans and Clash Royale universe are intertwined and totally connected. But before I get into today's story video, I quickly wanted to let you guys know that I am hosting a brand new iPad Air giveaway that you guys can all enter up until September 21st is when I will be drawing the winner for the iPad. All you gotta do is like the video, subscribe, and then comment down below using hashtag iPad giveaway, and then answer the question at the end of the video. It's so simple. I tried to make it as easy as possible for everyone to enter. You guys can also re-enter the giveaway every single time I post a new video, so definitely make sure to check back every time I post a video. And anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of today's story, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace out. The newest addition to the Clash Royale card collection is the new powerful male archer known as the Magic Archer. His description is stated as follows: not quite a wizard nor an archer, he shoots a magic arrow that passes through and damages all enemies in its path. It's not a trick, it's magic. So based off of this, here is the Magic Archer's origin story and how he was created and how he made it to the Clash Royale arena. One day, back in the Clash of Clans village, a young wizard named Mark was born. However, unlike the rest of the wizards in the village, this wizard was different from the others. It wasn't obvious to everyone yet, but they were soon to find out just what set him apart. But despite all of that, he grew up and was raised just like any other wizard. But then once all of the young wizards began to start training for battle, Mark felt a bit out of place. It all started that morning when Mark was walking over to the barracks to begin his training. And on the way there, he noticed two archers playing some shooting game where they were calling in their shots and then hitting them, even though they should have been impossible. Mark couldn't believe what he was seeing and thought that this was the coolest thing that he'd ever seen in his life. And as he kept walking, he couldn't stop thinking about how on earth they were hitting those shots. But alas, once he got to the barracks, he stopped to listen to what his instructor had to say. The instructor began telling them that the secret to wizardry magic is to focus on one thing and only one thing, and then channel that energy through your fingertips. He told them to start focusing on an element such as fire, ice, or electricity, as those are the easiest to summon, and no wizard had successfully summoned any other elements other than fire, ice, and electricity before. So most wizards ended up casting fireballs, and then a few of them shot out ice shards out of their fingertips, and then a few of the really crazy ones had electricity flying out of their fingers. Mark tried really hard but was just completely unable to summon any of the three elements. He tried over and over again, but still nothing happened. The instructor came over to him and kept trying to teach him to summon something, but after trying for a few hours, the instructor finally gave up and told Mark that he was a lost cause. Then he and the other wizards got up and left. Mark was extremely upset and mad at the instructor, so he went down to the beach to cool off. And as he was sitting there, the master builder, who was just about to head back to his island since he was done gearing up an archer tower, saw him sitting by himself and went over to him. He could see that the young wizard was upset and he politely asked what was the matter. Mark then explained that he was the worst wizard ever and couldn't do any magic at all. Then after a short pause, through tears, he said, "I wish I could have just been born an archer." Then the master builder felt awful for the young wizard and told him to wait where he was. The young wizard didn't think much of it, but decided to wait anyways since he had nothing else to do. Then a bit later that night, the master builder returned with something in his hand. He held a glowing turquoise bow that just radiated energy. The master builder handed him the bow and his eyes lit. Shot. The arrow made out of pure energy went straight through everything it hit, and it never stopped or slowed down. It went all the way around the world until it came full circle and came right back to him. He willed the arrow to stop, and then he looked down at his hands, not believing what he just did. Mark had become the first magical archer. The next day at training, Mark showed off his new powers in front of the other wizards and his instructor. Everyone was super impressed, and then the instructor came over to Mark and announced, "See, I knew you could do it. I taught you very well." Then he began bragging to everyone else that he was the one who taught him how to do that. But Mark didn't want to have any part of that crap, so he decided it would be best for him to leave. So he went to the only other place where his kind could go, to the Clash Royale arena. The Super Archer is strangely similar to the Magic Archer from Clash Royale. No, they are not siblings, but their stories are connected. Anyways, here is the Super Archer's origin story. The Super Archer's story all starts off with the Archer. Shocker, I know. One day when things were kinda slow in the Clash of Clans village, the Archer decided to tag along with a bunch of other Clash of Clans troops to go watch some matches at the Clash Royale arena for a day. When the Archer got there, the only seats left were the ones in the very front row, and so she and the other troops took their seats and began watching the madness unfold in front of them. The battles were crazy close and competitive, and after a few battles, the king decided to switch up his deck a bit, and he brought out a new legendary troop that the Archer had never seen before. This troop had glowing white eyes, but the part that really caught the Archer's eyes was that this troop had some sort of magical glowing bow and arrow. Naturally, the Archer couldn't take her eyes off of his bow. The Archer then asked one of her friends who that was, and they told her that that was the new Magic Archer that the king just unlocked. A few moments later, the battle commenced. The Magic Archer took to the arena field and started blasting those magical arrows at incoming troops. The arrow would pierce through the troops and continue on past them. And as the Magic Archer approached the bridge, he looked up, and in the front row of spectators, he saw what he thought was the prettiest Archer he had ever seen in his life, even though they all looked the exact same. The Magic Archer all of a sudden started trying really hard to impress the cute Archer that he saw in the stands, and every time he made a nice play, he would look up at the Archer to see if she was watching. And lucky for him, she couldn't take her eyes off him either. After the battle, the Magic Archer went over to the Archer and asked her out. She said yes, and she took him back to the Clash of Clans village to show him around where she lived. They spent the entire rest of the day together. And then the next day, the Magic Archer even came back to visit the Archer. He found her over at the archery range practicing her shot. He watched for a little bit, and then after she was done, he told her that maybe she could teach her a few things. After all, he was the Magic Archer. The Archer politely declined, telling him that she didn't need any extra help and that she was completely happy with what she was capable of. She didn't need any magic to help her become better either. The Magic Archer was shocked by this, as he had never even offered to teach other people his magic before. He then asked her again, like, "Are you sure? I could give you some of the magic that makes me so powerful." But again, the Archer declined, this time getting a bit annoyed that he kept asking. The Magic Archer was now a little bit insulted by this, but yet he still liked the Archer so much that he didn't want to keep pushing her and make her feel uncomfortable, and so he let it go for now. They then just continued on having a great day together, and at the end of the day when they were all pooped out, they went to the village bar together to have a few drinks and some food. After eating, the Archer excused herself to the bathroom. The Magic Archer saw this as an opportunity to give his crush the best gift of all, magical powers. And so he poured a bit of his magic that gave him the special powerful arrows into the Archer's drink. When the Archer got back, she finished her drink, and then she immediately began to feel the Magic Archer's magic working. She instantly grew bigger, stronger, and magiclier, or more magical. Then when the Archer opened her eyes back up, they were glowing bright white just like the Magic Archer's. She looked at her reflection in the glass and yelled at the Magic Archer, "What did you do to me?" The Magic Archer replied by saying, "I gave you those magical superpowers. You're welcome." But the Archer was in no mood to be thanking the Magic Archer. She was furious at him. She told him to get lost and that she never wanted to see him again. Then using her newfound super strength, she shoved the Magic Archer out of the bar and then kicked his butt out. The Magic Archer, still confused as to why she was mad, considering he just gave her these amazing superpowers, decided to just let it go and head back to the Clash Royale arenas where people actually appreciated him. The Super Archer then spent the next few days trying to get rid of these new superpowers, as she wanted to go back to the way things were before because she was happy and she didn't have to worry about all this magic mumbo jumbo. But to no avail, she couldn't get rid of the powers. Instead, she had to embrace her new powers, and she ended up going back to the archery range to try out some of her shooting. But every time she shot an arrow, it turned into a magical arrow that would pierce through whatever she shot in a straight line. No matter what she did, she couldn't get rid of it. And when the Clash of Clans chief found out about her new abilities, he had to get her to join. Especially with her new abilities, she was a perfect fit for the new team that he was assembling. He called them the Avengers. Just kidding, he called them the Super Troops. But anyways, that there is the story of how the Super Archer was brought into the world of Clash.